Hi, everybody. I'm going to just go over once again how to write your hero research one-page report. And this slideshow is actually in the Hero Multigenre purple folder inside the purple writing folder. So you can access it there, this exact slideshow that I'm going through right now. So the first thing we did is we conducted research, and you would go to the Schoology homepage, click on the purple writing folder, click on the purple Hero Multigenre paper folder, and use the Greek Hero and Greek Hero research sources to write down notes in your digital notebook for your research one-page report. So you're taking notes about what a Greek hero is. Then what we did in class is we wrote an introduction. And in our introduction, we were supposed to write what we personally might think a hero is nowadays. And then we go back to the past, to the ancient Greeks, and figure out how the Greeks, just very briefly, put how the Greeks defined a hero. So what I did next is I actually wrote this introduction in front of the class. I will read it right now. When I think of, it should say a hero, but this is a rough draft. So the rough draft is okay if it has mistakes in it. I think of Wonder Woman and how she would repel bullets with her wrist bracelets and lasso of truth bad guys and fly around in her invisible jet. Even in real life, a hero of mine is my mom because she always helps those in need, including me, and I'm always in need. However, the ancient Greeks had their own ideas about what a hero is. For the ancient Greeks, a hero was someone of mythical proportions, something that would not necessarily apply to most common people. So, what's really important if you haven't finished your intro or you lost it or you haven't started it is you want to make sure that you put all of your writing for your multi-genre in your digital notebook. So this is my digital notebook. I have some of my chunks of writing for my multi-genre in here. Okay, I haven't finished my top 10 courageous list yet, but I'm going to put the introduction for my hero one page report in my digital notebook. That's really important that it's in there. Okay. I'm going to tab this so it looks like an actual paragraph has started there. And now I'm going to put my body paragraph next. Okay. So that's my introduction. Then what we did is we planned out what we're going to have in our hero report. We're going to have an introduction. We already wrote that. Then we're going to have a body paragraph. And that body paragraph is going to be where we write the heroic traits of the Greek hero, including famous Greek heroes that exhibited or showed these traits. And we're going to discuss why the Greeks valued these traits. You can sort of guess a little bit about why you think they valued them. That would be okay. But the important part of this second body paragraph is that you must cite two sources of research. Okay, and you find that research inside the Purple Hero Multigenre folder. There are slideshows on what a Greek hero is. There is a document, just like I talked about earlier, in there called Greek Hero Research Sources. So you use those, remember, to jot down notes about the Greek hero, because you're going to need to do that research in order to write the body paragraph. And then you're going to have a conclusion paragraph. So the hero report is not terribly long. It is single space. You're not going to double space it. And it's going to be 12-point font size Times New Roman, and it will be about 3/4 to 1 full page of writing when you're done. In that conclusion paragraph, you're going to discuss how these heroic traits are relevant to today. So we collected evidence using the Greek hero slides, using the Greek hero research sources in the Purple Hero Multigenre folder that's inside the purple writing folder. And then we were to write our own body paragraph. And in that body paragraph, you write what character traits a Greek hero had. So, are they courageous? Are they of noble birth, meaning that they're born of royalty or of a god or goddess? That they are travelers, that they often have to go on these extensive, long, years long travels, just like Odysseus did. All of that you can find out, remember, as you collect your evidence from that purple Hero multi-genre folder. You are going to write why you think the Greeks admired and celebrated these traits in their Greek heroes, and you are citing, remember, two sources. You can cite more if you want. Citing means that if you're copying it word for word, you put quotation marks around it and you tell us which website you got it from. If you are putting it in your own words, you are still telling us what website you got it from, or the fact that you got it from this particular book that you read or whatever. But I've provided you with all the research from different websites, so you shouldn't have to look in any books or anything like that, or find any research on your own. So then during class, I wrote a body paragraph in front of you. So this is what it said. One of the traits that Greeks admired in their heroes was a noble birth or royalty. Such was the case with Odysseus, the hero of Homer's Odyssey, coincidentally, the king of Ithaca. So already I have some mistakes, like the Odyssey should be italicized. But once again, this is a rough draft, so it's okay if I have mistakes right now. Moreover, as one school website stated, simply put, you cannot be an epic hero if you stay in your village your whole life. Notice that I copied that word for word, so I put quotation marks around it. And then in parentheses right after it, I put what website I took it from. And that is the source that one of the sources in that purple hero research, or that purple hero multi-genre purple folder in Schoology. That's where I got, that's where this source is listed. We see this illustrated in Odysseus as well when he sets off to fight for his friend Menelaus in the Trojan War. However, a heroic trait in which Odysseus was lacking was humility. For example, when he escaped the Cyclops, instead of quietly thanking the gods, he bragged to Polyphemus that he tricked him, causing his crew and him to be cursed. To be noble was probably thought highly of because there just seems to be an irrational love of nobility. Of note, however, is his vast travels. It is understandable that the Greeks would find this noteworthy. One can learn so much about himself or herself in the world when traveling. As for humility, the Greeks were wise to think that humility would be an asset. If one is humble, you can listen to reason and good advice. So I'm using two sources, Homer's Odyssey and this schools.misd.org. So I have my two sources. Okay, so I got to make sure that this paragraph is actually copied and pasted in my digital notebook. I got to make sure all my writing for my multi-genre is in my digital notebook. So there it is. I've got my intro and my body. And I know the formatting, like, I can't have two different font sizes in my final paper, but I can fix that later. At least I have my my two of my paragraphs of my multi-genre in there. So let's go over the last part, which is our conclusion. So when you write the conclusion, you are summarizing what the Greeks thought a hero was. And then you're going to tell us why the Greek hero matters to us today. Like, what's the point of studying something like what the ancient Greeks thought of a hero? What's the importance of maybe even reading the Odyssey? What's the point of doing that today? Those are some things we can address in our conclusion. So my conclusion says, in conclusion, the ancient Greeks thought all sorts of traits were valuable. Inner hero traits such as courage, strength, the ability to fight monsters, the desire to travel, and humbleness. For people today, what the Greeks valued in a hero, it still applies. If you have to complete a lengthy paper for your English class, you will need the courage to ask questions and for help and the strength to complete the paper. Sometimes you have to fight for your siblings. They are kind of like monsters. You have to fight your siblings. They are kind of like monsters. Traveling makes you exposed to more cultures and people, so your understanding of the world grows. Finally, humility is key to improving ourselves in our community. So I kind of go through different traits that the Greeks would have admired, and why those are still important now. Okay. Uh, so then you guys were supposed to write a conclusion paragraph. So my goal for you is that you have at least 100 words for the intro, at least 200 words for the body, and at least 100 words for the conclusion. So if you have at least 400 words, that puts you in pretty good shape. If you want to shoot for getting all the points for that hero research one page report, I would say shoot for 600 words. So your range here is 400 to 600 words for this one page report. Remember, it will eventually be single spaced when we put it into our multi-genre paper. Okay, so I'm going to take my conclusion paragraph. I'm going to put it in my digital notebook. So here it is, here it goes. And so I've got my entire one-page report in my digital notebook. Now, if I were to make this all the same font size, let me do that really quickly, just to show you how long it looks when it's not all these different font sizes. So if I were to make it 12-point font size and I were to make it, I want you to use Times New Roman. Let's see, it's down here somewhere. There we go. Okay, so that's about how long it is once you do that. For some reason, it's putting extra spaces in between the paragraphs. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. That should get rid of it. And then this is gray instead of black. So I'm going to change that text color. There we go. So that's my one-page report. So see, it's about 3/4 of a page without the title. Okay. And it is, let's see how many words it is. If I go to tools and I do word count, so the part that I highlighted is almost 400 words. Okay, so I'm a little tiny bit short. I need to add just a little bit more to it. And then I'm good to go. Okay, so 400 to, so we need 400 to 600 words for our one-page report. So 600 will get you to like a full page, and this is about 400. All right, if you have any questions, make sure you ask in class. Bye, you guys.